welcome. Trace and Antonick, is that how you say it? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
All right, fantastic. Now, Trayson, first of all, welcome to East Texas Now. Happy to have you here. You're from Overton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Went to high school at West Rusk.
Say that one more time.
I went to high school right there at New London.
Oh, fantastic. Now, are you still an East Texas native? I know you travel a lot. Or have you made your home somewhere else now?
No, this past year I recently moved to Missouri. I took a job, I was getting married, and you gotta go where the job is.
Of course, of course. Now, like we said, Trayson is a saddle bronc rider. Now, is that your full-time job, or is that a passion project and you're doing something else to make sure those bills get paid?
So that was my full-time job the last 5 years. But this year I took a job with Data Mars Livestock. So we deal with producers and sell some livestock products that help with management.
All right, a true cowboy in multiple circles there. So getting to, your passion project and like you said, your full-time job the past 5 years, let's go to your 87-point ride on Doughboy, an impressive ride that won you around $669. Now, of course, it is one of the smaller rodeos on the circuit, but an 87-point ride is something to be proud of no matter where you are. Can you take us through that ride?
Yeah, so that horse has actually been featured in Vegas. Generations Pro Rodeo has that horse, and so you get your draw a few days ahead. And I knew I had a great horse. It would be an opportunity to make some good money. Had him once before, didn't ride him near as good, and so I kind of had it on my mind what I needed to tweak to do a little bit better. Like you said, it was a smaller rodeo, but the stock doesn't know if they're in a practice pen or at a big rodeo. They buck all the same, and so I tried to make a few tweaks. He started really, really good and just stayed hooked all the way through, and I was lucky to kind of do my job and stay with him.
All right, now for those that don't necessarily follow the rodeo circuit super closely, you talk about a few tweaks. Is it something like, football where you go and you watch game tape and make notes of where you could have done better? Or is it something more that you feel it in the moment and immediately know what you want to do better for next time? Take us through that process.
No, I'd say you hit the nail on the head. So the first time I rode him, I did a couple things different with my rein. So I gave him a little more rein, kind of let him have his head and buck a little bit more. I also got pretty amped up. I knew I had a good horse the first time, and so this time I just kind of relaxed a little bit, took a deep breath, and just had a little more fun with it. Back when it was my full-time job, I think there was a lot more pressure, and now, like you said, it's a passion project, something I do on the weekend to make a little extra money. And it takes some of that pressure off, and you can just kind of go wing it a little bit more.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, being able to do it for love and not do it for love and something that you and your new missus depend on there. Speaking of, didn't you guys honeymoon in Maui? What are your thoughts now on, I'm sure you've seen the headlines and everything that's going on now in Maui. What are your thoughts after just visiting?
All those wildfires are heartbreaking. We actually stayed just a few miles north of Lahaina there, and so like all the tourists that probably go over there, we went downtown and saw the banyan tree and everything, and seeing those pictures of it burn up. I mean, that tree I think is 150 years old there in the middle of town, and it's really heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking for the people. I mean, there's so many people displaced. We've been looking into how we can help out, but we're definitely glad we got to go and experience it. And I can't imagine the rebuilding process that it's going to take now, but our hearts go out for everybody over there.
Absolutely. It sounds like you guys travel a lot, be it for work or now for, your passion project, maybe a honeymoon. So what does the next couple weeks look like for you now that it's weekend rodeos that you're going for? Are you still traveling as far, or are you trying to stay more local?
No, I stay pretty local now. So with my job, my territory is Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. And so I don't travel near as far as I used to, but it's a nice circle. And if there happens to be a rodeo within 4 or 5 hours, I'll swing over and hit it if I think I can make some money. The next couple of weeks, I think I have to go for a work trip to Kentucky the first week of September. And then we're going to drop down to Florida, hit a couple of rodeos in the north side of Florida before we make our way back that weekend. So, like I said, stay pretty local, but that's relative, I suppose.
Yeah. What's the next one coming up that you got your eye on?
Davie, Florida, and Palmetto, Florida. I might not be pronouncing that right, but we're going to run over to those.
That's fantastic. And now that you are a spouse to someone, does she come with? How does traveling look a little different now that you're married?
Oh, it's so much better. There's always someone to help drive late at night. We went to Sykeston, Missouri the other day, and I gave her that last leg home. I mean, it was only probably 2 in the morning, but she definitely was a trooper. I don't know. She's got a lucky job, so she's an artist, which is why I had to go get a real job because a rodeo guy and an artist, you know how that goes. But she can do her artwork during the week, and then if we decide to take off on the weekend, she can jump in and go, and you know there's no conflicts there. So it's been really really nice. We've been having fun with it, kind of touristing around a little bit while we do it. We try to go see something new, something I don't know, a national park or waterfalls or just something. Mix it up a little bit while we're on the road.
Absolutely, that sounds fantastic. And a rodeo boy and an artist sounds like a country song if I've ever heard one.
Yeah,
Speaking
Hallmark
of,
movie.
yeah, absolutely. It sounds like something that you've grown up on in the movies or listening to on your way to, your Overton High School. Speaking of, if there are any kids out here in East Texas that want to follow in your footsteps, what's your best advice you could give them?
Honestly, find somebody that knows what they're doing, not just somebody from the community that's heard about it. Find somebody that actually has been there. Go to a school. It sounds like kind of a silly job, but there's a lot of opportunities. There's a ton of scholarships out there, college scholarships. I actually put me through my master's and my undergrad on a rodeo scholarship. So it can be pretty fruitful. But my biggest advice is find somebody, go to a school, and get started right because you can. It doesn't matter if you're playing football, baseball, whatever. Technique is 90% of it, and if you go learn wrong, you learn how to tackle wrong, you break your neck. Just find somebody that knows what they're doing, or go to a school, get started right, and then the sky's the limit. I've got friends that are, have made a living out of this for the last 15 years, and it can be pretty awesome. You get to see the world, or it can just be like you said, a passion project. But either way, it's still a dangerous sport, and so the best advice I can give is go find somebody that knows what they're doing and start the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said your day-to-day job, your 9 to 5, if you will, it deals in cattle. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So we make livestock identification, so like ear tags, as well as the True Test scale systems. And so I deal with producers. I go talk to large producers that have 400, 500, 600 head of cattle and more, and hear about their operation and what our products can do to help improve it with management practices. Make it more efficient. Everything in today's world is about being more efficient and having better records, and so that's kind of what I do, which is cool because having rodeo the last 5 years, I put 50, 60,000 miles on a vehicle every year, and I don't think an office job would fit me very good. So I'm on the road and I'm meeting with people that are like-minded and getting to learn a little bit about what they do too.
Absolutely, and still stay passionate about what you can do in that rodeo ring. Well, Chasen, thank you so much for joining us here on East Texas Now. It's been fun to pick your brain, and I'm happy to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of
you guys
course.
Have a great day.
Wish you the best of luck in Florida.